What's up, my dudes? In the past, I made a video and called it a beginner's scrying guide, and I've decided to revisit this topic and create a more in-depth version of the guide. I received a lot of negative feedback on the guide, but it was warranted. In short, the guide was more of a level scrying up fast guide as opposed to a beginner's guide. So for this video, I'm focusing on the fundamentals of scrying and everything you need to know to understand how it works. Firstly, scrying requires you to have the Greymoor DLC, which provides you with access to the Western Skyrim zone. Once you have this DLC, you will need to travel to Solitude to this location, noted as the Antiquarian Circle on the map. Upon getting here, you will enter the building and talk with Verda Numida. After talking with Verda, the Antiquarian Eye can be interacted with on the table across the room. After interacting, talk with Verda again and she will give you the scrying skill line. She will then give you a quest to find Gabrielle, who is downstairs in the same building. After talking with her, you will be prompted to open your journal, which can be done by pressing J if you play on PC. For those of you on console, it's the menu indicated by the journal, however that looks for you all. Upon doing so, you will see the Antiquarian Eye symbol on the menu. This will take you to the Antiquities menu. In this menu, you will see all of your current leads that you have found. For this quest, you need to scry for Gabrielle's Bottle of Proving. Select the bottle and begin scrying. The goal in scrying is to combine the same symbol foci to create a connection with all the highlighted foci. Upon connecting with all the highlighted foci, your map will open up, creating a highlighted area showing you where you need to travel to excavate for your antiquity. For this quest, it's right outside the door of the basement. What's not expressed very well in this tutorial quest is the usage of the Antiquarian Eye. If you travel to your collections menu and go to Tools, you will find the Antiquarian's Eye. Assign this to a quick slot so it is easily accessible. Once you've done so, you can use the eye and it will point you to the location of the dig site, so you don't have to run around like a headless chicken trying to find it. Now you may begin the excavation of the dig site. The objective is to locate where the antiquity is buried, then by selecting a zone, you will see two boxes. If green, that's a spot above the antiquity. If yellow, the antiquity is somewhere within the white outer square. If red, it's not within the inner block of the highlighted zone. Find as much of the green spots as possible to give yourself an idea on where you need to dig. Once you've used all of your augers to find the antiquity, switch to the handbrush to begin digging. Clear all the dirt from the top of the antiquity until you've unearthed it. There are also some hidden bonus items that you can find while excavating, so you can use your remaining energy to find those. After completing this, talk with Gabrielle, and now you've got the skills you need to scry and excavate for antiquities, my dudes. That being said, there's a long road ahead of you if you're looking to get your hands on some mythic antiquities. But I'm now going to switch over to my main account and go over the passive abilities and how they can help you in your quest for cool stuff. Alright, so here I am on my main toon. A piece of advice, you should only do this on one toon. If you try to level this on multiple toons, you're really just wasting time. Leads are shared across all of your toons, so you can find it on one and scry for it on your main. To save yourself from overdoing it on the skill points, I recommend using this setup for the passive skills. 5 points into Antiquarian Insight to scry for the rarest antiquities, 2 into Scryer's Patience to get additional scrying chances for when the foci are really not playing in your favor, 2 points in Coalescence to gain a powerful ability while scrying, which I will cover here shortly. 1 point into Future Focus to gain an additional Magicka charge, which gives you another Coalescence or Dilation chance, which is the next skill. 1 point in Dilation, which will highlight all facets of the same symbol connected to a section that you already have highlighted. You don't need Farsighted, but I enjoy using it, so if you do like it, you can put a point into that as well. I don't use Preemptive Power as it's more of a handicap passive that's not really needed. I'll go ahead and cover how these work in scrying now. So here I have the Ruined Blood Coil, which is a master difficult antiquity. As you can see, it indicates that I need to be in the Deadlands, so I travel there. Once there, the option to scry is available. At the top of the eye, since I have the passives, I can now use Coalescence, Dilation, and Farsight. As you can see, all use one Magicka charge. Coalescence creates a snowflake-like shape and turns all the symbols within into the selected facet symbol. Use these abilities to stretch out towards the highlighted foci as much as possible to limit the number of selections you have to make. Next is Dilation. Like I said, this highlights all the foci that bear the same symbol as the one you select that are within extension of your already highlighted foci. Farsight allows you to select a 4-facet line from a facet that is already highlighted. I personally enjoy just using Coalescence as I find it to be the easiest and most effective way to reach all of the required foci. As you can see here, upon reaching some of the required foci, you receive an additional Magicka charge, allowing you to use your skills again, so make sure to take advantage of that when scrying for difficult antiquities. Once you connect with all the foci that are needed, you'll be shown where to go on the map, as shown in the tutorial quest. As I showed earlier in the video, don't forget to use your Antiquarians Eye tool to locate the dig site. This will save you a ton of time when searching. Now for the Excavation Passives. I recommend having 2 points into Handbrush, 2 points into Auger, 2 points into Trowel, which is an ability that allows you to remove 3 layers from an individual spot of the dig. Keen Eye is nice, but not necessary with the Antiquarians Eye, so I'll let you decide if you want that or not. Excavator's Reserve gives you more interactions with the dig, but I find myself not needing more than just 1 point into this skill. Heavy Shovel is a really great skill that removes a 3x3 layer of dirt that is the same height as the height level of the selected square. It will ignore the dirt that is at different levels, which I will display in a moment. And lastly, Keen Eye for treasure chests. Again, not necessary, but I find this a very nice little passive for finding chests in dungeons. As shown in the tutorial quest, use the Auger to find where the antiquity is. You'll see a brighter dirt level, which is impervious for the Auger, so you have to select areas around those or brush it away to check. You'll also see there are little areas of smoke. If you dig there, it will cause an explosion that can damage the antiquity, so you want to avoid hitting those when you dig. Now, for the passive abilities. I'll now demonstrate the Heavy Shovel since it has enough intuition indicated by the blue bar. You gain intuition by clearing with the handbrush. As you can see, there is a highlighted 3x3 zone around where I've selected. This will only dig 2 layers of dirt that matches the same level as the dirt in the center, like this. As you saw there, if you're at a higher level, it will grab the lower levels as it reaches them, so you want to use this on higher levels of dirt. As I said, you need to use the handbrush to regain intuition to use these abilities. By doing so, I can dig out a green spot and get an idea of where I'm digging at. With my intuition back at full, I can use Trowel twice. Trowel only requires half of the intuition bar, as opposed to the full bar needed for the Heavy Shovel ability as shown here. Trowel can safely trigger fissures to prevent the explosions from damaging the antiquity. Trowel digs down 3 levels from the selected square, but you have to be careful not to damage the antiquity by digging into it. There are a max of 8 layers of dirt, and here you can see what those layers look like. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And that's all there really is to it. Once you've dug up the antiquity, it's yours. Most rare items require multiple leads to create the item you're going after. For this example, I dug up the Ruined Blood coil of the Markin Ring of Majesty antiquity equipment. I recommend looking up where the leads drop if you're ever after a particular item, as they are scattered throughout all the different zones of the game, and some require DLC that you may not own, so be careful and figure that out before trying to get the antiquity you're after. The last thing I want to cover is how to level these abilities up quickly, because it is a very long process that can be sped up. Jumping back over to my non-level TOON, we can travel to Artaeum, which is part of the free Somerset DLC. If you don't have this zone yet, you can ask a guild member or other players to help you get there by creating a group and traveling to their location. Once here and the tutorial quest is complete, you'll find faded Sigic folio in your scryable items. And you're not going to like this part, but scry for this and excavate it over and over until you reach scrying level 5. This gives you access to scry for advanced tier antiquities. Once at level 5, you can travel to all the zones that you have, doing the advanced scrying antiquities that you've acquired from playing. If you have none, I recommend doing more content like world bosses, opening treasure chests, finding other antiquities, and really just about anything. Leads can be found all over the game. From here, if you're out of advanced antiquities to scry, you can return to Artaeum and continue farming the faded Sigic folio until you get to the level you want to be. And I believe that's everything I have to share with you about scrying. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments. And with that, I'll see you in the next one, my dudes.